and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the books that I don't really like so far in the year of 2017. So I aim to read at least 24 books this year, and since it's already February, I've managed to read a plenty of books, and unfortunately out of all those books I have read, there are like 3 books that I just don't really like. It's either I really hate it, it's either because they're just meh, or is it just simply because they are like the least favorite out of all. This is The Sudden Departure of the Frasers by Louise Candlish, and I kinda hate it. So, The Sudden Departure of the Frasers. This book is about a young couple who actually just recently moved into a neighborhood, the picture perfect Lime Park Road, which is said to be the most sought after neighborhood ever, that actually managed to afford the house under quite a low price. But not actually really low, because they kind of complain about being in debt in the beginning of the story. Not really complain, it's more of the fact that I actually have to postpone having a baby because I have to focus on, you know, paying the bills and stuff like that. But that's not the point of the story. The point is that they move in, and then the neighbors don't seem to like them. They just don't treat them in a very friendly way. It just feels like they're not welcoming them. And turns out there's like a secret going on around the neighborhood, and then it's something to do with the former occupant of the house. You see, the former occupant is actually a nice couple as well, and she moved out from the house within 24 hours, so everything is just so suspicious. That actually made that book sound intriguing, yeah, but after the story progresses, I started to hate it. I started the whole story, and it's just, what the hell is this? It's just not up to my liking, and I'm just like, the characters are so horrible, so unlikable, that I just feel like I should give up reading the book, but I continue anyway because the writer is actually quite good in terms of drawing the audience in. Just reading this is like reading Desperate Housewife. Just the difference is that Desperate Housewife is actually a good show and this book is really bad. Let me talk about the ending. It's just so horrible. There's no justice for the characters, and the person who can get away was actually very cunning and very malicious. I don't think that that character deserves whatever he or she received in life, because she's just such a horrible person, so unlikable, and I just want to slap her face if she's real. But do keep in mind that I actually plenty of good reviews on this book on Goodreads, so do take my review with a pinch of salt, because I think my opinion is actually an unpopular book opinion, and it's just my personal preferences. And please don't hate me just because I hate this book. I'm just being honest about my preference, and this book happens to be not my cup of tea. It's just not my cup of tea. This one we have is Hit, a Southeast Asian urban anthology, meaning that this actually contains a collection of short stories from 6 different Southeast Asian nations, such as Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines, and Singapore. While there are few short stories that I actually quite like, but the rest of them are just okay. It's not bad, it's just okay, you know what I mean? It's just like meh, like just mediocre, just like that, just like not something that I actually want to reread, you know. Except few short stories I actually kind of really like Tinder by Gabriel Lee, and then The Lordly Dragon by Zdex Yu. Is that how you pronounce his name? I'm so sorry if I pronounce your name wrongly. So I guess it's just simply because I have too much expectation for this book, because this is actually a Southeast Asian urban anthology, so I just thought that, well, it's gonna be really cool, it's gonna be really good, and then I just like, oh, okay. So, yeah. And next we have This Horror Stories by Tunku Halim. First of all, I feel cheated because I don't read the quote in front of it properly, because according to the quote in front of this book at the book cover, it says, "One of the most unpleasant books I have read, by New Straits Times," with an asterisk at the end. And turns out the asterisk is, okay, the quote from the New Straits Times is for a different book, but it's by the same authors, who we are certain the endorsement would also apply. Wow. Just wow. I actually bought this book because of the quote in front, and I regretted not reading it properly. Like, I feel so cheated. I feel deceived by this, okay? And if it turns out to be really good, then I probably wouldn't mind the misleading quote at the front. But it's totally misleading because it's not as good as I expected. Perhaps it's just my high expectations, but I don't know. Because I saw reviews from Goodreads, and I'm just like, oh, at that time when I was reading it, actually I haven't read this book yet. Actually I was reading Cal Noir by the same publisher, and I just got confused, and then I googled reviews for this, and then turns out people are hating this book, and I'm just like, what are you guys talking about? Are we reading the same book? Because I actually thought I enjoyed it very much, and then turns out the book that I actually enjoyed very much was Cal Noir and not horror stories, and then I realized that, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna read horror stories, just to see if I share the same opinion. And yes, I do share the same opinion as the rest of the people on Goodreads, and I just really agree with the fact that some of the stories are just so badly written. I just feel like the transition is just off. Feels so weird. It feels so weird. It's just no. It's unpleasant to read, yes, but it's not in a good way kind of unpleasant. You know, like Penny Dreadful, that TV show. It's unpleasant to see, but it's in a good way kind of unpleasant, you know. And this is unpleasant in a very bad way, okay? It's not like something you can compare with Penny Dreadful. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, yeah, okay. Some of them are quite fun to read, some of them, but many of it are just disappointing. Like the Haunted Apartment, it's really disappointing. It's just so weird. I finished reading that particular short story feeling unsatisfied at the end. I'm just like, what just happened, bro? Like, no, this is so not cool. Like, what just happened? No, this is not right. Hello, excuse me. I want my money back. So thank you so much for watching my video. There were like sounds of baby crying, but I hope you guys can just ignore that because I live in an apartment, so you can hear like all sort of sound, and apologize for that. I just don't want to refilm it again because what I said was actually really unscripted, and it came out really perfect the first time I filmed it. I just don't want to refilm because then it will lose the essence. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.